Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back doing a Christmas special reading. Doing a little bit different than I would normally. For those of you who are new to my channel, I normally use my Shadowscapes deck in my monthly readings, and that's by Stephanie Puy-Moon Law. But for this Christmas special, I really wanted to just pull a few cards, just to see what the messages are for people right now in general, okay? And this is for everyone. This is for all signs. And I am back wearing my magical scarf. For those of you who have not watched my channel for too long, this is my magical scarf. And I am wishing you a very magical and beautiful Christmas and New Year. I'm going to be using a couple different decks. The Enchanted Map deck by Call It Baron Reed, that's how I say her name. And the other deck I'm using is this Galactic Heritage deck by Lisa Royal Holt, okay? This is the book. And these, normally I take decks and kind of have a lot of creative artistic license with my decks. My main 4 decks. These decks are, I'm reading strictly from the book, okay? And I don't, do that with my other readings and with my other decks. So I thought this would be nice just to kind of break it up a little bit and do something different. As you know, some of you have been watching me for a while. I don't like to be pigeonholed into one category or another. I like to feel free to do different things on my channel, and I'm just going to be using these decks because I feel and I may use one of my other decks, but I feel like these messages are important. This is just going to be a really quick reading. I'm just going to pull a few cards here. Again, this is a Christmas special reading, and I am going to be following this, a 2016 snapshot, okay, using pretty much all of my decks, which I haven't done before. I'm not doing yearly readings this year. I typically don't do, the next year. I didn't do one for 2015, and I'm not going to be doing one for 2016, but I am going to be doing a snapshot, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's for everyone, okay? So I wanted to do this little reading because there's some messages that I feel like that have been wanting to come through the last couple of days, and I put it off, because I've been cooking and cleaning and doing, what everybody else does around the holidays, and taking a little bit of time for myself. But I really wanted to do this. Now, this is for December, the end of December, Christmas, the holidays. These are the messages for you. Okay. Now, I do a Celtic cross spread pretty much with all of my readings. That's how I read. So I'm going to pull a few cards. The first one, the thing that's crowning you, is the slow and steady card. It's like a snail moving slowly. It's interesting because I felt like things have really slowed down the last couple of days. It's snowing heavily right now. And this is slow and steady wins the race. That's what it says. It says, remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race? This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you great access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. It's kind of really appropriate because, it's the holidays, and I feel like there's a lot of craziness and busyness around the holidays, but it is a reminder to kind of slow down, take your time, remember to savor every moment and to appreciate it and to celebrate it with, joy and happiness. That's the main key element. You have the Goblins card in the position of the immediate future. Okay. And it's hard to see, but you kind of get the idea. It's kind of these creepy critters. And it's a very interesting card because it's one of the more negative cards in this deck. It says, fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. Goblins are born when you're wounded, and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. There, they remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. A goblin's card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of the divine. Ask Spirit to help you heal. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of the negativity. Okay. So this is a really amazing card to me, even though it's kind of on the negative side. It's about those of us who don't feel like, loved. Sometimes, around the holidays, it can be there's a lot of pressure to have the ideal life or the ideal lifestyle or the perfect family, or to have, whatever it is that your society or culture is telling you. So for those of you who don't live in the U.S., you have your own traditions and cultures and all that. But I know for a fact here in the United States, there is a lot of pressure at this time of year to have money and to give, generously, and to, I want to say, have, the perfect family, or the perfect holiday experience. And so for those of you who don't feel, especially for those of you who are in the United States and don't feel like, you feel maybe let down, or you feel like unhappy for whatever reason, you may even feel slightly depressed. At this time, a lot of people get depressed. You might not even live in the United States, but you feel depressed because, maybe it's winter time and you just, you have that, feelings. But this is a card to remind you that you're whole no matter what. You don't have to give into the pressure. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect family or the perfect lifestyle in order to be whole, you can, I want to say, find the little things in life that make you happy. There's a lot of light in this card, There is this blue sky in the background, but you can't even really tell because it's one of those shady forests, It's like, in Robin Hood, it's Sherwood Forest, But you see this blue back there, there's blue there, and there's light to be had. So you need to... I feel like for some of you, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're loving yourself, you're understanding that you're worthy of love no matter what. That, to me, is the message. There may be, goblins to me are fears and doubts and negativity that we have around our head that tell us, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm, for whatever reason, not perfect enough, or not whatever. All those things, and the doubts that say, those little whispers of doubt that say you're never going to make it, you're never going to find a job, you're never going to have money, a husband, a wife, children, whatever, all your doubts, you need to let those go. You need to be more positive and see that in the bigger picture, there's a lot of light to be had, and there's a lot of hope to be had, and you need to have faith that everything's going to work out and that you're a whole person. And if you are constantly lamenting what you don't have, then you won't have it, okay? But you have to sort of imagine that you have abundance at this time. You have everything that you need and more at this time in order for the universe to actually deliver it. That's kind of just how it works. Unfortunately, it sounds kind of foo-foo, wishy-washy, but some of us can get down. Everyone has fear. And I tell people, fear is the easiest thing to overcome. Recognize that you're afraid and let it go. Recognize that you're afraid and that, but you don't need to be. Recognize that you have doubts, whatever those doubts may be. Again, you may feel, for whatever reason, for those of you who are single, like you're never going to find a relationship, or you're never going to be in love, or, you're not going to have the life that you want to have. And that's not true. It's just your doubt talking. It's your doubt. And you can't let that light in when you have that doubt. Okay, so you have to let those doubts go, let those fears go. Don't keep feeding the monster. There's really no point in doing that. I feel like the foundation is healing. 38 is the foundation here. And this is, I feel like some of you are not over past heartbreak, past hurt, past pain, past suffering. Because things have slowed down, you may sort of feel like, now is a good time to do some reflection. I definitely recommend it because this is still in this reading. And so I always say the foundation is very important. It kind of colors everything else. So you need to sort of see it as a time of healing and a great time to go within and examine, okay, what did you learn from your past relationships? What was it that was the repeating factor, or that thing that you're constantly doing, or that mode that you're constantly in, that you need to work on moving past. A lot of people get themselves into cycles where they can't seem to get out of that cycle or break that cycle, and people stubbornly, like we all do, hang on to our habits. We hang on to our patterns, the things that make us, even our beliefs. We hang on to our beliefs so strongly that we go to war for beliefs, I mean, people on Twitter, people go crazy. Politics, you name it. Regarding our ideas, and they're just ideas. I tell people, I learned a long time ago, the hard way, that, your emotions, things that trigger you start as thoughts. It starts in your brain. It starts as a little thought that maybe says, I believe in such and such, and this is how it has to be, as facts. I have a friend who believes in, facts. Things are facts. And these facts she will fight tooth and nail to prove, to reinforce. But the problem is, it's not the facts, it's the fact that she's fighting so hard about them. And it's important to have courage and and it's okay to believe in things and to have ideas about things, but not when it causes others pain, and not when it causes others hurt, and not when, your thoughts, your negativity are still bringing forward negative experiences. So in order to move forward, you need to heal from the past, heal the cycle, heal the thoughts. Understand that you're having an emotional response because, for one reason or another, you had a thought go through your mind that was negative, and it just made you kind of blow up. I'm going to read the 38, the healing card, but I really wanted to talk about that because the card means a lot to me personally, and I see it as being, again, I don't read like everybody else does. This is unusual for me to do this kind of reading. This is the one time that maybe I'll be doing this. I might do these in the future, who knows? But I wanted to read them because I feel like these messages are so crucial. And I have been starting to read from this in my private readings because I feel like these messages are so important. It says, forgiveness is the healer of the soul. It says, this is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, soul, and mind. As this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat, or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. You're asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth and all of life, and to commit to the healing path. The Heal the Ouch card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. So to me, this is a card about, the raccoon is the doctor here, playing the doctor. You actually may be a doctor watching this, but for a lot of you, this is just about old relationships, old wounds, getting over broken hearts, and again, it's learning to forgive others and not fight quite so hard for your corner, because you don't have to. And I feel like breaking that cycle is something that we all kind of need to learn. It's very important. And watching out. If you have people in your life that trigger you, avoid them. Don't talk to them. If you've been in a cycle of breaking up and getting back together, because that is huge cycle, then don't get back together. Say no. Say it's official. Some people complain and say, well, I couldn't leave, that he wouldn't let me, or she wouldn't let me leave, or, that's, to me, that's somebody who's not taking control, not empowered, that's still letting, and I know that there's circumstances around that, but, you have to put your foot down in your own life. Nobody can control you, ultimately. You have to make the decision for yourself, what's best for you in relationships and otherwise. It's interesting that this is coming up because I feel like the earth is going to be a major subject in 2016. This is the end of the year, but the earth is really, people are going to be talking about the planet more. And I feel like anything that you can do to send love to the water, send love to the plants, send love to the trees, send love to the air. When you are washing your hands, look at the water and sing a little tune. Pretend you're singing to the water, okay? You can pick your favorite fish, or pick a dolphin, or pick a whale, or pick, anything, any animal, any plant, pick something and pretend you're sending it love. In your mind, send it a little heart in your mind to that plant, that animal. I feel like it's super important for us to do this. And in order to heal us, we have to heal the earth too. So this is about taking care of others as well as taking care of yourself. Some of you may be caretakers. You may have a lot of responsibility. You may have children. You may have, people in your life. You may have pets, people in your life that you're taking care of. But it is also a reminder to heal for yourself, but then also think about, what you're doing in the world to heal others. So it's interesting because, I'm talking about cooking and cleaning, and you got the cleaning card in the position of emotions. This means that some of you need to really reorganize your space, feng shui your space. You need to change things up, move things around, get new pillowcases, because we've got a lot of planets. We've got a lot of planets and earth signs right now. So this is a really practical time. This is a time to, and I hate this word, get critical, okay? My mom always used to say that. When it comes to your house and your belongings and the things in your life, declutter, okay? Get rid of stuff, donate stuff, sell stuff. Reorganize, vacuum. I looked over and I was looking at the vacuum. You need to vacuum. How long has it been since you vacuumed? Dust. Get really hardcore into your space and clean it up. Because I feel like the clutter is sucking your energy away. And it's affecting you emotionally. I feel like the important thing to do is, to me, it's about emotional clutter. It's about some of you having, I don't know, negative thoughts that cause you to be upset. things that are going on that are repeated, you know, things that are kind of around you that are causing you to be upset. It could be people too, it doesn't have to be objects. You need to, I want to say, clear your space. Anything that has eyes on it, and I've noticed this in my personal space, I'm talking, it could be a stuffed animal, it could be a picture of, of a cat or a dog or whatever around you that has eyes. You need to get rid of it because people can psychically attack you through that, okay? Now, I'm not fear-mongering here, but I'm saying, you know, little things like that, dolls, things like that that are still around you, all contribute to your emotions and all contribute to your health, okay, your mental health, okay? So to me, though, this is about being practical and cleaning up and taking care of business, you know, doing your laundry, doing your dishes, getting things done, staying organized, clearing out your pantry, you know, sort of deep clean. This is a time to clear your space for the new year. Make it ready for the new year. It's super important that you do so. And we have in the position of what's coming in from the outside, this is the Ori Desert card. So some of you, this is a tough place to be where you're at right now because to me, think about it. The desert, you know, when you're in the desert, you have, you know, I'm not saying everybody is like this, but the desert is super dry. There's no water. There's no hope. It's bleak. It's dry. It's a desert. There's nothing there. So it's, to me, a time where you may feel a little bit lost, or you may be waiting for something to happen that's better. A lot of people watch horoscopes because they're hoping that something good is going to happen, okay? But there's so many elements that go into what makes life life. One of them is planetary issues, and that's personal for everybody. 2, karma, and there's nothing you can do about karma. It's about learning the lesson. 3, divine timing. Things do not happen in our timing. They happen in the way the divine works, which is annoying as all fuck. It really is, okay? But that's how it goes. And some people, and you know, we're on a spiritual journey. Some people have a longer journey than others. In our society, across the world, I have people that call me from all over the globe, okay? And the thing that everybody wants is they all want it now. They all want it now. They want to have everything they want right now. And they get disappointed when they don't. Or they just want a little hope that things are going to be better and they want to know how soon, okay? The thing about the desert is reminding you of the journey. It's reminding you that not everybody has an easy path to walk. That's just kind of how it goes, okay? So I'm going to read you this. It says, dig deep for inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. It says, is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to become resilient as you journey through harsher circumstances. You're being required to conserve your energy until, after consistent effort, you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In the desert, water essential for life can be found deep underground. Go deep within yourself now. Find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Whatever it is you're asking about will not be found in the conditions you're in until you move past the surface of things and choose to do the real work and discover the answers deep within you. This may not seem like the most productive time, but looks are deceiving. This is the most important place to find what's truly right for you. So, you know, it talks about doing the work, okay? And a lot of people call me and they want to know what they're supposed to do. But ultimately, you know, as much as I can analyze and I could say, well, these doors are open for you and tell you, okay, well, this is where I see things going. Ultimately, you have to do the work. You have to come up with a plan. You have to come up with ideas about and goals and set goals and realize that it may not come into fruition when you want it to. Okay, so some people have a difficult time with goals. Some people have a difficult time because they lose hope or lose faith along the way and they kind of give up. Okay, some people have a difficult time doing their homework. Just think back to when you were in grade school. How many people actually did their homework? How many people really want to put in, you know, a 40-hour work week? I would say that pretty much everybody that's watching this doesn't. Okay, they don't, because that's just how the nature of how we are. We want to play, we want to laugh, we want to go outside, we want to have fun. We don't want to be stuck doing the work. But when it comes to your life, if you're in a circumstance that is very, very difficult, or you're, you know, financially struggling, or you're having problems, or your relationships suck, you have to do the work to make things better. Because nobody can do that for you. You have to make the decision to, you know, that you want to make things better and change. And that is the hardest thing, but it is the most important thing, I feel like, in society that we can do for ourselves, is make better choices for ourselves, which will then make us happier people, that will find more joy in our lives, and will start to affect others in that way. The outcome, and this is the last card from this deck that I'm going to read, is the Metamorphosis card, which is very interesting. It's a beautiful card, actually. And it says, you are in the process of deep and beautiful change. It says, upright, and the butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you are to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go isn't easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin or a caterpillar dies so that a butterfly can be born, you're required to release your old ideas and embrace a necessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that is draining, or unhealthy habits. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you'll love what you become. So it's a beautiful way to end this little reading, because it kind of sums up what I was talking about, with the other cards, about kind of digging deep and understanding that you need to make changes for yourself and how that will affect you long term. Kind of taking control for your own life and making things happen. I am going to just see what I get for using this Galactic Heritage cards deck and see if there's any cards that pop out. I know this is a little bit longer of a reading, but since I'm only doing one, to me it's, you can pause and come back. This would be a great break for those of you who want to take a little bathroom break or popcorn break or a glass of wine break, whatever it is. Wow. And for those of you who don't know, this Galactic Heritage card deck is a companion to The Prism of Lyra, the book The Prism of Lyra. And I recommend everybody read that book. It will change your mind about it will change your mind about everything. It really will blow your mind. And this is the companion to it. So for those of you, you may not even believe in the stuff that I'm talking about or reading, but that's how it is. So the outcome is really great, actually. Is the energy transmission card. Is actually the first card, I think one of the first cards that I ever pulled from this deck. And That's the outcome, and I want to read that first, okay, to this spread. It is really amazing. Okay, and it's about Arcturus, okay, the Arcturian energy. It says, Arcturus energy has guided humanity since its very early inception, but its guidance is subtle. It often guides through gentle energy transmission. Often, this energy transmission comes through the healing arts, such as Reiki and other forms of hands-on healing. Because Arcturus's polarities are totally balanced, it usually circumvents the mind when working with humans. If you pulled this card, then an Arcturus energy wishes to work through you. In a quiet space, open your palms and focus on the energy sensations there. Ask for a transmission. This energy is familiar to you from ancient times. It says, because the Arcturian energy is so pure in essence and so connected to our true state of being, it can assist us on the earth plane in many ways. It is often channeled through hands-on healing techniques and without words. It is transmitted from one human to another through love and touch. Again, this is one reason why it is such a profound component of midwifery. It is also often the first energy channeled by new channels. Healing practitioners often get this card in their readings as a validation for their art. If you have received this card in your reading, again, it is important to look at the peripheral circumstances to which it can be applied. It may be acknowledging your healing abilities or suggest that you work on them more. It may be telling you that you are the recipient of a transmission from loving Arcturus consciousness. Go deep within to find what it is telling you. It could also be referring to channeling abilities that you have that can be expressed in many ways. In meditation, see if you can open yourself to receiving this transmission and know that the transmission can come in words or through simple, pure, loving energy. To me, this is almost like the definition of the hug, the ultimate hug. This is real love. This is for those of you who are looking for a relationship, or for those of you who are in a relationship. This is loving a partner. This is sending. And it's not even, it goes beyond male, female, whatever. It's really for everyone. To me, it really is about the power of healing touch. It's about love when you hug someone, when you touch someone in a loving, kind way. I feel like this is also a huge thing that can be improved in our society. Okay, there's that old saying, make love, not war. Well, this is the energy. And it is important. I mean, we as people on the earth have polarity. We have black, white, we have love, war, or peace and war. And if everybody was doing more of the positive, which is loving others and sending others love, loving themselves, loving the planet, loving, animals, then we wouldn't be so negative all the time. So some of you need to start to, some of you are healers, so some of you need to embrace your healing, okay? 2, some of you need to be hugged. Some of you need to find a companion that does this, okay? You need to, and some of you need to hug others more. Some of you need to love others more, okay? To me, this is just pure love. This is pure energy. That's very, very positive. You can see in this image, there's 2 people coming together, and they're holding. To me, it's like they're holding hands. This is also the kiss. Hugging, touching, kissing. We need to, I say, balance out the polarity of so much negativity and hatred and war in the world by loving others. So to me, that's finding that balance. It's interesting because in the center of the spread, we have the solar system card, which is a card that I've only read, I think, 1 or 2 other times. Like, it really hasn't come up much in the reading, so I'm interested to see what this talks about. And the message is, it says, our solar system archetypally represents all the aspects of human consciousness. This is visible through astrology. The sun represents our highest potential of consciousness, the higher self. This is the higher self card. You have pulled this card because either you have already a very strong connection to your higher self, or it is time now to develop that relationship. This is a card of integration. Solar consciousness compels us to integrate our parts and become whole again. This process happens naturally as we connect with and become the higher self. The process has begun. It says, if it came up in your reading, then it could mean several things depending on your situation. It could be acknowledging the connection with your higher self that you already utilizing, or even a spirit guide who brings you messages from this higher aspect of you. Or, if you don't feel particularly connected to your higher self, it could be a message that you now need to start making this connection. The energy is strongly present, so why not learn to use it? Your higher self is most likely sending you a message, and it is likely you know what that message is, even if you don't want to fully acknowledge it. The energy of any star, in its raw form, is a direct representation of the intelligence of creation itself, pure consciousness. It hasn't fragmented or individuated. It exists in a fully integrated state. This energy is present for you and is, in a sense, waiting for you to acknowledge it and accept its presence in your life. Even those people who feel fully connected to their higher selves can always go deeper. So to me, this is also connecting with the heavens. Some of you maybe work with astrology, and some of you may be really into astrology, but this is also understanding the connection that we have with the stars, with the planets, with their energy, tapping into that energy, and connecting with it. It's really beautiful, actually, when you think about it. I feel like some of you are very sensitive to energy, and this would be a great time to, I want to say, work with your, work on your third eye, using, your healing abilities. I want to say a lot of you need to listen to your intuition more, because to me this is also a card about using your intuition, using your psychic abilities, tapping in, not being afraid of what the messages are, not second guessing yourself, not saying, well, I knew that. Like, a lot of people are like, well, I knew that, but I didn't want to believe it, or I didn't want to accept it, or, I knew that person wasn't good for me, but I went along with it anyway. So this is about believing in understanding, listening to your own inner guidance, and also connecting to the heavens, which is creator energy. Okay, so I feel like that is very important. There are two other cards that I want to talk about. One is the this is a card. It's actually the 33. It's interesting. The card about the Zeta Reticuli. For those of you who don't believe in aliens, this may not be for you, but it really is a great message for those of you who are open to it. So it says, sometimes when we are in a crisis, we make choices from fear and desperation that we later wish we could take back. This is true of the Zetas as well. This card asks you to look at the lessons learned by the Zetas and apply them to your life. Never react from fear or desperation, for those choices will be ones that are not aligned with your higher self. Wait. Watch your emotions. Feel and embrace them. Let them go. When calmness comes, make your choices from there. If you have already made regrettable choices and it is too late to change them, bless those choices and move on with no regrets. It says, if this card came up in your reading, a deep message is given on many levels. It may mean that you have a connection to the Zetas from this era, that you have helped them somehow, perhaps in genetic projects or in understanding emotion, or that you perhaps had a life as a Zeta at that time. It may also mean that you are having ongoing contacts with Zetas from this era. But even deeper than this, it is asking you to look at your own life and how you make decisions. All humans feel desperation at some point in life. Look at how the issue of desperation plays out in your life and see if you can learn to confront and heal your fears before they get to the stage of desperation and decisions are not made from a healthy place. Okay, so to me this card is a lot about not having knee-jerk reactions, thinking things through, Some of you, especially for Libras and Geminis, to me, the first thought was Libra, Gemini, people who have a difficult time making decisions, leaving things to the last moment and then having to do them. That's not a decision. That is just waiting till the last minute, having to do something. Being forced to make a change because you didn't take the proactive approach. Getting into an argument with somebody, I want to say over and over again, and not taking the initiative to break up with that person, or not take the initiative to leave that situation, or let go of the past. And this is also a card about accepting that whatever choices you have made in the past that didn't work out for you, it is about understanding and forgiving yourself for those choices. Because I always talk about this in my readings. I always say there are poor choices and there are wise choices in life. And there's every shade of gray in between. And so you need to understand that, it's time to make wiser choices rather than poorer choices. You can make a wise decision having, doing your research. People that don't do the research, Taurus doesn't do the research enough, Virgo, Capricorn, they don't do enough research. Libra, Gemini does too much. I would say, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, they skip the research, hope for the best, and scrape their knees and cry when it doesn't go their way, or call for help. Pretty much that's the Aries. They're always they need help. And then water signs. Lament having to make any choice at all. And it's more this lamenting and this pining that inevitably delays their decision-making process indefinitely, or, they basically leave it up to somebody else to do. They leave the dirty work to somebody else because they can't bear the hurt that comes with the pain of the decision. Or the result of the decision, So it's usually, with water signs, somebody else breaks up with them, rather than the water sign breaking up because they just can't handle it. So to me, and everybody is a combination. Nobody is just a water sign or just an air sign. So we all have something to work on when it comes to making better choices for ourselves, when it comes to making good decisions, These are the things. Now, there's another card here it's the power of sound, which to me is a very, very simple message. It's about music. It's about music, and I want to tell people listening to more music. It's about listening to music, understanding that it definitely is going to help raise your vibration. There's certain tones, there's certain music that will lower your vibration. So you need to choose wisely as far as what you listen to, and how it's affecting you. People really a lot of times love music that makes them feel something, but it doesn't necessarily raise their vibration. Okay, it's just sort of like the vibration of that sound is sad. So they tune into that and they cry because they may need to, they may want to, sort of embrace that, sadness or whatever that they have had going on from the past. But I'm going to read this to you because this is awesome. Okay, it says, sound, and this is the Vega. Okay, sound represents the physicalization of spiritual energy into a frequency that can be accessed in our reality. The ancient Vegans were masters of sound and used it for everything from healing to warfare. The practice of chant or mantra has its origins in Vegan mysticism and has spread to many planets, including Earth. If you've received this card, then you have past experience using sound to alter consciousness, either for positive or negative purposes. This positive skill or negative karmic control pattern is returning. Explore the power of sound as the next step in your spiritual evolution. This time stream of Vega is very ancient and is foundational for many ET cultures, including those on Earth. In this ancient past, the Vegans had a strong spiritual connection to the founders and understood the structure of the universe and their role within it. The priests fully understood the journey from polarity back into unity, and they did everything they could to preserve this memory for future generations. Because they understood the sacred knowledge and made a commitment to preserve it, they were also the carriers of spiritual wisdom within our galactic family. They kept all the knowledge of the evolution of spirit, spiritual technology, and the power that lies within sound, light, and thought. They were masters of sound, including mantra, music, incantation, and tone. The teachings about the sound of Om come directly from this ancient vegan knowledge. Vegan mysticism has influenced Earth's ancient esoteric teachings, primarily those from the East, including India and Asia, as well as Western mystic traditions. This card is a very specific one and appears only for those who have this connection too. If you are not aware of your connection to the power of sound, explore further. You will most likely discover a whole new universe of knowledge that feels natural to you and may be the next step in your spiritual growth. So this would be a great time to listen to Tibetan bowls, get a set of Tibetan bowls. That was one of the first things that came to my mind. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube with sounds, different sounds, even from whale sounds to just, the sound of rain. Some of you may want to check these kinds of, kind of explore these things for yourself. Again, listening to more music, I recommend for people who are depressed or in a state of desperation or in a state of, just feeling confused or lost, which, is coming up here. So some of you may be feeling that way. You need to listen to 15 minutes of classical every day. Avoid the French horns. Don't listen to the French horns. But, some piano, classical piano will be good for you. 15 minutes every day. Preferably in the morning and at night. I feel like this will be very healing for you. Okay, and the last card, and I know I'm going on here, but I do want to read it, is about Earth and the future of Earth. And it's a card of graduation. It's kind of interesting, picture. The pictures on these cards are weird, kind of weird, but the messages are so great that it's really important for me to read them. Okay, it says, Earth's history has been fraught with struggles, hatred, and fear. There we go. Sorry, my computer just froze for a second. Okay, it says, Earth's history has been fraught with struggles, hatred, and fear. The underlying purpose of this was to serve as training for species evolution. It hasn't been easy. From the point of view of the future, humanity has succeeded and experienced a graduation as a species. That is hard to see now, but please trust that everything on Earth is happening for a reason. You and many others are connected to humans from the future who are gently guiding the planet towards this graduation. As you connect with your higher self and do your spiritual work, you too help to uplift humanity. If this card comes up in your reading, it can mean that energies or beings from Earth's future are working with or through you to facilitate graduation on a planetary level. This card is also most likely acknowledging that you have completed a challenging cycle in your life and are having a graduation of sorts. This is a time to celebrate. If you feel the cycle of learning hasn't finished yet and the graduation is coming in the future, let the energy of this card give you the strength to keep going. There may be tests, final exams, so to speak, that will come up, but you are prepared for them. Every civilization that awakens experiences a graduation, and Earth is no different. Despite what chaos you may see on the Earth at this time, know that it is leading towards a shift. Let yourself trust in this enlightened time that is coming in the future for Earth. And know that what you do to awaken yourself in this time now helps to ensure the future for planet Earth. Continue your personal work and encourage those you meet to do so as well. To me, this is about final exams. Talk about final exams, okay? Major disruptions. On the planet, in our lives, changes that test us, things that test us. For those of you who have been going through testing times and feel like it's been ongoing, it can't continue that way forever. So understand that cycles change. For those of you who have been through a cycle of tests, where it's been test after test after test, know that you're going to be coming out of it. I feel like for a lot of you, it's coming out of that process and into a new cycle in your life of positive things. For those of you who have delayed making changes, have made poor choices, and are still in that process, in that same cycle, know that you too will also come to a point of relief. But you have to go through the process. You have to do the work and understand that final exams are the hardest. They're the hardest tests. And remember, the hardest tests are given to the oldest souls. And so for those of you who are going through really, really, really tough stuff, really, really tough, understand that it's for your soul, and it's your soul growing, and it's what you decided and what you chose to learn in this lifetime. So be open to knowing and believing that things will get better, and things do get better. But whatever cycle you're in, understand that it is a cycle, and it may just be a period of time before you complete that cycle. To me, this is really good news for those of you who have been going through a really tough time and are really looking for things to get better. I feel like because you have to me, the Arcturus energy is the best energy in the deck. To me, this is love. To me, this is relationship. To me, this is romance. For those of you who are looking for love and romance, to me, this is, you're going to be coming out of this period in your life, maybe where it's a kind of a dry spell. Kind of reflecting a little bit of the desert card, where you may be going through a little dry spell, where it's been a long trek through the desert, maybe a long time where you didn't have maybe enough love in your life or enough romance in your life or people who you felt who loved you or who you could love. But to me, things are really going to change for the better for you. So, stay positive. That would be my final message. So this is a long video, I know, but I wanted to share some of those messages with you. I feel like a lot of you will resonate with them. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be back doing my regular January readings very soon, and I send you a little bit of magic, with my magical scarf. And thank you guys so much for watching, liking my videos, subscribing. You guys are all the best, and I do read all comments. For those of you who, doubt me on that, I do read all comments, and I do try to get back to emails. I appreciate, you guys making the effort and, loving me so much, and I send that love right back at you. So I send you big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, take care.